Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 21st. We're going to jump right in here, Gemini, and we are going to look at your past energy in this first row. You have this elephant spirit that says, learn from the past. It doesn't say live in the past. It just says learn from the past. So I feel like for some of you, this has to do with like an opportunity, I feel. Yep, definitely has to do with an opportunity because Knight of Pentacles can represent no movement or no forward progress or not moving towards something or hesitation, right? Or, playing it safe, all those things. And so I feel for some of you that there is clearly an opportunity. Look at this. There's clearly a really big opportunity coming in for you here, Gemini. And, I feel like you kind of need to jump on it. I feel maybe in the past you didn't take advantage of an opportunity that could have come your way. And I feel like this is saying like, hey, there's a really big opportunity. It looks like it's going to bring like peace. You have this peace card showing up, but that peace card can also represent like luck and freedom. And this card also represents luck as well. So, I kind of feel like there could be a big opportunity. Looks financial to me because in your second diagonal, you have the Eight of Pentacles to the Death card to the Ace of Pentacles. It's like whatever change is happening for you, financially going this way right here is clearly going to be a positive change. Eight of Pentacles is good. It is a card of material success on the horizon, but it's almost like you're transforming what you're working on and it's going to be much more worth it with the Ace of Pentacles. I'm getting like a rush of messages here on the Ace of Pentacles as well. Like if you're working on a business or something, it's almost like it's protected or insulated. I also feel like the competition is going to have a hard time keeping up here as well. I always like to remind people that I think we're entering into a time of co-creation. So we shouldn't even be like thinking competitively in general. I think it just creates, a negative resistance. But what I would say is I feel like for the most part, I think the competition can't keep up. You have the Knight of Pentacles here. What's interesting is that the Ace of Pentacles can kind of represent the garden. It does represent a garden. And you have this empty field behind you here on the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like if he would just plant seeds in that field, it would turn into a garden. And to me, this reading is basically saying you need to jump into something, an opportunity with the Fool, so that you can create your Ace of Pentacles. It's kind of weird because normally I would say that the Ace of Pentacles is more something that's being given to you. But intuitively, I feel it's something that you are creating. I feel like it's something that you are building. It's like, and it's much bigger. Maybe you have a lot of ideas with the Eight of Pentacles. It's kind of funny because Eight of Pentacles is focus, but I see this Eight of Pentacles as you kind of doing a lot of experimentation in the past. You kind of having learned a lot about like where to put your energy, what works, what doesn't work in all areas of your life, by the way, not just financially, but you have the Lovers here. You even have the Two of Wands here, which can represent like where you put your energy as in a location, right? And so I feel you've been doing a lot of learning, but I feel a little bit more scattered on this Eight of Pentacles than I normally do. It's like I almost feel that you've been trying to see where you can do your best or your best work, or you've been, it's like almost like you've been trying to get as much as you can out of a situation as well. This could be love, but really I feel it is financial. So, it could be in like work or business. And again, that Ace of Pentacles to me is like the one big thing that you're working on. It's like going to be your major focus in the future. You have this Page of Cups here. I do feel there is a little bit of love showing up in this reading. The readings haven't been very love focused this week, which is weird because, the end of the year, I feel there's much better love energy, as I've been saying for weeks now. But I do feel that for you, there could be love coming in, or it could be an opportunity. I do feel it is a person from your past, and I do not mean an ex. I think it could just be a person from your past, like a person that you know, someone that you socialized with. For some of you, I'm also getting that there could be a person coming in who you used to work with. Maybe they quit, maybe you quit, maybe you got a new job, whatever. And, I kind of feel that the whole, maybe you couldn't date when you were working together because of certain rules, or maybe they just have that rule that they don't date people they work with. But it's almost like there's someone coming forward that you worked with, or there's something about work here together. I don't know, you both do the same thing, something. Let's see. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Page of Cups. Cups again, so definitely could be love coming in for you. It's funny that Knight of Pentacles, if I can talk today, very slow moving at making an offer, but it's like, here's the offer. That's kind of how I feel here. So again, it really gives me the vibes that some of you could have a person coming in who you worked with, or again, you could be approaching this person as well. But take it how it resonates. But I feel there's love coming in. For others, and for all of you, really, I'm going to show you the big version of the card. You can see that he has that fish in the cup, and I always say that the Page of Cups to me represents like a dream. That fish could represent something that he is more imagining. It might not really exist. So it might be like a dream, some sort of goal, wish, or dream that he wants to accomplish. And I kind of feel you need to get moving on that. With the Page of Cups, are you kidding me? You have the Ten of Pentacles. This is a very, very good reading. I really feel this is what you're building with that Ace of Pentacles at the end. It's like you're building or leaving a legacy. To me, this is exactly what we should all be doing right now because of Uranus and Taurus. The Uranus and Taurus energy, if we work with it, we will be very successful. So, with Uranus and Taurus, it wants us to be free, exactly what I said at the beginning of the reading. It wants us to focus on building things that are permanent. So it doesn't want us to build things that are like fly-by-night opportunities. It wants us to build things that last for a very long period of time. So if you're building something like a relationship that can last a long time, amazing. Ten of Pentacles is my favorite love card in the deck. I think it's the best love card in the deck because it's like everything you want. Same thing with business. If you're building something for the long haul, then you're going to be successful. I keep telling people, like right now with Uranus and Taurus, you can't think like, how can I, you shouldn't be doing short-term thinking is what I'm trying to say. Like it needs to be more long-term in business because that's where the success is. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. I do feel like some of you have experienced like a heartbreak here. But it doesn't have to just be love. Remember what I said at the beginning of the reading. It's almost like this reading is saying there is an opportunity or something that maybe you feel like you missed out on in the past. And it's kind of weird because Aquarius had a very similar reading. Not exactly the same, but if you have Aquarius in your chart, you might want to watch that reading because it was similar. For you, it's different though because, it's like I feel like you learned. I don't want to call Aquarius out here, but I feel like you actually learned the lesson. Let's put it that way. Next, in your present position, you have the last quarter moon in Taurus. It says, be proud of yourself. There you go. I didn't even see that, and there you go. I feel like you need to be proud of yourself that you have learned, like, what to do now, and that's really how I feel about that Fool. I feel like you're not going to let an opportunity pass you by this time, an opportunity to, live a better life or to experience your Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, it really is an experience. It's building or leaving a legacy, but it's something that takes your whole entire life, right? It's like if you're building or leaving a legacy, it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you're working on for a long time. So I kind of feel like some of you are going to be doing that. You have the Fool, the Death card, and the Lovers. So you show up in a very strong position here. The Fool, what's really interesting is that he has this tattered clothing here. It kind of looks ripped. And to me, it's saying that you're about to go on a journey that you've done before. I would say that you're about to repeat something, but it's not like, I'm not suggesting like an ex is coming back or anything like that, but I do feel kind of like second chance vibes here on the Fool. The whole point of the Fool is that he goes from the Fool through the major arcana until he gets to the World, and then guess what? He starts all over again as the Fool. So I feel like saying that you've been on this journey before, the journey that you're about to go on or the risk that you're about to take, but there's something different. Something has changed, which we see right here. Part of me feels that what has changed maybe is your intentions. We have this white rose right here on the Death Rider's banner. The white rose represents pure intentions. It can represent purity as well. So it can represent just, kind of doing things for the right reasons. You can also see this child here is also holding a white rose up to the Death Rider. The child is the only person on this card who is not afraid of the Death Rider. The child is open to change. Children, they ask lots of questions. They're excited by new opportunities. They are very curious as well. I feel like all of those energies would be very good for you. I'm also getting something about curiosity in general, but it's popping into my head as business. Like if you have a business and you're trying to sell something, it's popping into my head. I feel like it needs more curiosity. Like you might not be like selling something enough. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like you need to make something more curious. I hope that makes sense here, Gemini. Like, so there you go. It kind of I'll just tell you, like, it reminds me of YouTube, right? It's like there are, on YouTube, it's like we kind of have to use clickbait in a certain way because if you don't, people aren't going to watch your videos. I mean, I've seen it just in general. It's like some people get mad at the clickbait, but at the same time, it's like there's ethical clickbait. It's like my clickbait, I make sure that it makes sense for the video, right? So it's kind of like the way that I package my videos. And again, trust me, like tons of people are like, why do you do this? And I'm like, well, if I don't, I get like no views. Trust me, I've done it, right? And so it's like I do it for a reason. And I feel like for some of you, especially in business, there could be like a need to package things in the right way. You're not doing it unethically, you're doing it ethically, but I think something needs more. I don't know. It's popping into my head. For others of you, there's some sort of belief changing. It's like if you see this guy right here, this guy right here, the Pope, or he kind of looks like a Pope. He kind of he reminds me of the Hierophant. He kind of represents beliefs or belief systems. And so for some of you, there's some sort of belief system that is changing in your life. For some of you, it could be around love. So this is your card, Gemini, but one thing is that on the Fool, you have this dog here, and the dog represents companionship. And what I'm wondering here, Gemini, is if you're kind of like more, I call this making yourself kind of your own mental point of origin, where it's like you're kind of working towards something. And if you meet a person who wants to tag along, great. But it's like you're not going to sacrifice your life anymore for anyone. And I kind of feel like that's the mode that you're in as far as love is concerned, is you're like, if someone wants to jump on this train and come follow along, great. But I'm not making sacrifices. I kind of get that very matter-of-fact energy. Same thing in business as well. Like, I think that, same thing in business. It's like, again, there are plenty of people who don't agree with my titles. Guess what? I don't care, right? I just keep doing it anyway, right? So it's like I could make the sacrifice and do, not nearly as well, or I could just keep doing what I'm doing, right? So I feel like you're kind of, just moving along here. I hope that makes sense. Probably not, but we'll see. With the Fool, you have the Page of Pentacles, definitely needing to grab onto this opportunity. I feel there is a big opportunity coming in for you. But it's also like an opportunity that you're creating with that Ace of Pentacles. So, and I know that sounds confusing, but again, I want to stress it. Normally the Ace of Pentacles is like the hand of God reaching out, and it's like the universe is giving us an opportunity. For you, it's almost like I see it as, like I said, you're the Knight of Pentacles, and I feel like you're building this opportunity. There's a difference here, and I don't know, I can't figure it out. With the Death card, you have the Justice card. Justice has been coming up quite a bit, so I do wonder, we could be experiencing some karmic correction. We saw this with, that big crypto exchange, FTX, the collapse of that. We're going to see a lot of stuff like that happening. That's nothing, right? As far as I'm concerned, we're going to see more and more and more stuff like that happening in the world because we are in a time of karmic correction. I think it's going to get pretty freaking interesting over the next few years. As Pluto starts to leave Capricorn over the next few years, goes into an Aquarius, that middle Capricorn Aquarius cusp, you know what I'm saying? You probably don't. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I have to be careful on YouTube. And what I would say is I think we're going to see a lot of changes. Let's put it that way. These are going to be good things, though, because, again, they're karma. It's like, they're karmic changes. Things are balancing out, and it's exposing truths. I literally have been saying this since, like, 2016, and look at all the truths that have just recently come out about the crypto exchange. But, again, there's going to be other stuff, other truths that come out here. So definitely a lot of truth being exposed, but again, it's probably to balance things out. I also think you're balancing yourself out here because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I've been getting very clear messages for pretty much everyone that if you're plugged into the right things, it's going to be like smooth sailing. If you're plugged into the wrong things, not so good. So make sure you're kind of giving your energy to the things that return energy to you. With the Lovers, you have the Six of Wands. I like this. If you're attracting love, which you have these two pages here, you actually have the Page of Cups twice and the Page of Pentacles. Definitely could be a new person coming in for you. Could be an earth or water sign. Although, again, you have basically everything here. So it could be any sign coming in for you. I feel like it's a very, I'm getting established and accomplished person. The word accomplished is the word I'm getting here. So I'm wondering, if it's a person who has a job, they, accomplished would mean that they do it very well, or they get a lot of attention maybe because of their job, right? But I'm also getting like an artist or something. Some of you could be attracting an artist or someone who does art. That could be like music as well. And it's someone who's very accomplished. I'm not so much getting that they're like famous. They could be, but it's like one of those things. It's kind of funny how it's popping into my head that if it's like a musician or something, it's someone who's like credited on a bunch of big people, right? It's like maybe they play guitar or something like that in the background. I don't know. It's kind of weird how that's popping into my head, but there you go. I'm also getting something about stability. It's like, here's the thing, is that if you look right here, he has his foot in the stirrup on the horse. You can kind of see that, I think. And, I almost feel like your foot, it's like you're putting your foot in a stirrup, which is weird how that message is popping into my head. But I almost feel that you're locking yourself into something, which is the Ace of Pentacles. At the end here, you have this peace card. Again, I am getting peace, but I was also getting like freedom and happiness at the beginning of the reading. And, again, I think that is a side effect of being at peace is freedom. Usually, if you have freedom, you're probably at peace. Usually, if you have happiness, you have peace, right? So, I kind of feel these side effects on this card. I also am getting something about an apology here as well from a person. So some of you could be getting an apology from a person from a distance. Two of Wands. I don't think I think you will accept the apology. That's pretty much it. That's all I'm getting there. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Two of Wands. This is your future position here, Gemini. Again, I feel like someone in the future could have been a Virgo, could also just be someone who has been withdrawn. So if like someone has ghosted you or disappeared, you could be getting an apology. Like I said, I don't really feel, it's almost not worth mentioning because I really don't feel like you're going to do anything about it. I mean, I think you'll accept the apology and move on. But at the same time, sometimes I think when we get the closure, it's nice to, get the closure at the very least. For others, I feel that you need to go harder because he has the star in his lantern on the Hermit card, and that star, it's like being hidden in the lantern. He needs to blast his star out. He has been through something. He's gone through a dark night of the soul. He has earned the right to, kind of show off. He's not really showing off. He's displaying skill when he opens that lantern, right? And here is your display of skill right here, Ace of Pentacles. It's what you build. Your display of skill is what you present to the world. So, I don't know, pretty heavy energy because I feel like your results are going to speak for themselves, but I also feel some of you are, again, you're like building your 10 of Pentacles and you're going to be displaying your 10 of Pentacles to the world, which could be like the life that you build for yourself. I keep telling people that this is incredibly important right now because we're entering into all this Aquarius energy. Again, Pluto over the next few years will be moving into Aquarius. Aquarius is the star. Aquarius is about being an inspiration for other people. And people always ask me, what am I here to do spiritually? I'm like, well, really, I think spiritually we're just here to create our own reality. And it's just that simple. And if you want to get even more technical, I think we're just here to, create our own reality because that's how, God expresses himself through us. But, again, I'm a crazy person. So there you go. But what I would also say is, if you want to get super technical, being an inspiration and doing something amazing is probably what we should be doing right now and for the rest of our lives because we're going to be dealing with this energy for a very long time. And, I would just say, doing something amazing, overcoming an obstacle. You can see here that there's mountains in the background here, Gemini. Those mountains represent achievements in the tarot, but they also represent something to overcome. So I would be doing something inspirational. And if you do that, then you're probably going to get some rewards. And again, you don't have to inspire like a billion people. You just have to inspire like one other person is enough. And so that's what I'd be doing. You have the Two of Wands here. Two of Wands is kind of like, there's an interesting story with the Two of Wands that he has rushed to a finish line. He has accomplished things too quickly. So he is standing at the top of this castle and he's kind of looking out at what he has accomplished and he's saying like, there's nothing more for me to accomplish, but really he has the whole world in his hands. There's so much more for him to do. So if you feel like there's nothing more for you to do in life in the future, I feel like there's a lot for you to do. I'm also getting something about distance here. And again, I feel like there could be like an apology coming in from a distance. You have the Tower wanting to pop out there. Everybody's had the Tower this week, so, it doesn't really surprise me. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords, major improvements. It's kind of interesting as well because Six of Swords moving from one side to the other, I was feeling at the beginning of the reading, I was really feeling that Eight of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles, two different things. So some of you, like, it wouldn't surprise me if you have a business right now and in the future you switch to a completely different business. It wouldn't surprise me if you have a career right now and switch to a completely different career with that Ace of Pentacles, there's a significant difference between the Eight of Pentacles in your reading and the Ace of Pentacles in your reading. They're two totally like different experiences that you will be creating for yourself, or that you have. You have the Eight of Pentacles now. I think what you're moving towards is building that Ace of Pentacles. With the Hermit, you have the Six of Cups. You do have two sixes here. I love two sixes. To me, it says you're on the right path. You're going in the right direction. Funny enough, Six of Cups could be a person from the past. Like I was saying, I feel there could be like an apology from the past coming in. And with the Two of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. This is like a separation. But again, with the Two of Wands, it could just say that you're leaving something behind and you're building something else, or you're getting ready to move on to something else. I'm also going to pull your 5 main themes for the week, and you have this knot card. It says unsuccessful plans. I think the unsuccessful plan is something that, like we were talking about at the beginning of the reading, it's like something that you didn't, like an opportunity that almost you missed. I kind of feel intuitively that that card is saying don't allow past experiences to prevent you from doing something you want to do right now. You have this bridge. It says successfully overcoming a problem. Exactly. I feel you will be overcoming any problems that you could have. And again, if you're getting kind of like a second chance here to do something again, you're clearly going to be successful. You also have this table. It says hard work ahead. I feel like this hard work is going to be worth it. Eight of Pentacles is definitely kind of, I don't know if that's focusing or not, but there you go. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of hard work, and so it wouldn't surprise me if you're working hard, but at the same time, I feel there's clearly going to be abundance coming in because of the hard work. You have this eye card. It says psychic ability, trust your intuition. So definitely trust your intuition at this time. I feel like you're very connected to people right now as well. Like you could be, I think it would be a great time for you to build relationships. And I'm not just talking about love here. Like if you start thinking about someone during the day, maybe you want to reach out to them. Maybe you want to just, keep in touch with people who matter to you more, right? And I kind of feel that here. You could be having dreams about people. It's kind of weird because, again, I feel very, very clearly that that card is talking about people for whatever reason. I don't think it's talking about, well, it could be talking about other intuitive stuff. But, again, I feel it's mostly experiences with people. You also have this boot card. It says increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Again, hard work. So the Ace of Pentacles, as I always say, I just want to show you. The Ace of Pentacles is a garden. Right? There is a garden in front here, and it represents, when you think about it, a garden requires work. You have to fertilize it. You have to weed it. You have to give it a lot of sun. You have to water it. You have to do all those things to it. But the better you take care of your garden, the better, the better success you're going to have. So this is something that you nurture into existence, whatever it is for you, right? So the more nurturing energy that you put into it, the better. And again, I don't necessarily think, by the way, Mars retrograde in your sign, I don't necessarily think you have to work hard. I think it's more about working smarter than it is about working harder. I'm going to pull 3 cards now here, Gemini. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. If you have a question, feel free to pause the reading. I will answer a question. If you don't have a question, I will put all 3 of these together, and we're just going to do a personalish, kind of like a personalish reading. So pause the video now if you need to think of a question, because I'm going to read the cards. You have the Knight of Wands, the Empress, and the Devil. Damn. For some of you, like I would definitely be careful of anything toxic in a past, especially involving the past here. There's like been this weird past energy. It's very subtle, where it's like maybe a person could be coming back to apologize. Like I said, I would be careful, especially if they were like a liar, cheater, stealer, or toxic with the Devil. I am also getting that some of you could be asking about a person and maybe you think they're a player, but I feel like they're not. I actually feel like they're the Empress. And it doesn't matter, what gender you're interested in. I feel like some of you could be wondering if a person is a player because maybe they get a lot of attention. Remember, I think I said that earlier in the reading about a person getting a lot of attention. It's popping into my head here, but I actually feel like they're the Empress. So again, I wouldn't worry about that. For all of you, I feel like there is an adventure you need to take. Something needs to be created in reality. Here's the thing, is you have 2 cards here that represent creation, believe it or not. Yes, the Devil represents creative force because those people have animal horns on their head. Animal horns kind of represent like our baser instincts in the tarot. So like root chakra energy, Empress obviously is pregnancy. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes I feel with the Devil, we have to take our energy, we have to bring it up to our head so that we can express it into the world. So it's like you have an idea, you have something that wants to be birthed, Ace of Pentacles. I feel like you just need to kind of like put it out into the world. And that's what this is saying to me. So super powerful reading. This is probably one of the more powerful readings I've done for you in a while. Actually, all the air signs have been pretty intense for some reason. I don't know what's going on, other than, it could be the Mars retrograde in your sign. But it looks amazing. Definitely a lot of abundance coming in for you. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.